It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders, and it's coming up next.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, longtime foes square off in the NFC East as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. CD, these Commanders, a last-place ball club in 2022. Well, in most cases, you'd say that was a lost season, but they finished 8-1, 500. That would have won the NFC South. What kind of a chance do you give them in what is certainly a loaded NFC East?
And you're exactly right about the division, so you have to be cautious about what you think with this team. They've got to continue to play excellent defense and get some improvement on the offensive side of the ball and establish who their quarterback is going to be.
And meanwhile, for the Eagles, the big question, how would they improve their squad in 2023 and make another run at a Super Bowl title? But they took a few hits in free agency, but by most accounts, really hit a home run during April's draft. You were there. What did you make of it?
It was almost a night beyond their wildest dreams. Perhaps the best player in the draft somehow fell to 9 where the Eagles traded up to get him. And a terrific pass rusher they got at 30. Wonderful draft, extra pieces for a Super Bowl contender.
From his end zone is Byron Pringle. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Commanders' offense set to go to work, and they're led by the veteran who's bounced around a bit. In season number 8 now, it's Jacoby Brissett.
Spent the early years of his career bouncing between starter and backup as needed, and played well, but never had a team fully commit to him as their guy. He does retain the toolbox that made him projectable as a starter. Big, strong player with a powerful arm, deceptively mobile, and tough to tackle. The best part about his game, leadership and being a great teammate.
Brissett going to go to the air right away. And his first pass is incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Brissett. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. 23 yards the pickup there.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. On play action, Brissett. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10. Brissett again. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Throwing, Brissett. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Thomas brings it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. From the gun, here's Brissett. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
2nd down and 4. Now the second-year man from Alabama, it's Brian Robinson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on 3rd down.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders are on the board first here this afternoon. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown. That
felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And we already knew that Hurts was a good quarterback. But last year, he moved to elite status. Under his guidance, the Eagles returned to the Super Bowl and nearly won it. And he's also one of the league's most dangerous players. Thrown for 38 touchdowns his last 2 seasons and run for another 23.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. They go with a former Lion. It's DeAndre Swift. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Airing it out deep for Smith. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play. And he did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it. And he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. And here's Rodgers on the return. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
Play action. Here's Hurts. And that's going to be caught downfield by Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. They shakes him off. Buying time to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
This 2nd and 4. Hurts sets up to throw it. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And Goddard going to have an Eagles 1st down as he'll get this down inside the 35. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And his throw is incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. They will run straight ahead with and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And one of the linebackers has got it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
You remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Brissett's throw taken in by Samuel. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw, Brissett. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. A huge play there for Washington. 47 yards.
Despite writing it down in my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Brissett. Touchdown! Logan Thomas from 4 yards out. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. That's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free. And his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now 14-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was capped off by the Logan Thomas touchdown catch. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation, I would continue to go in that direction.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now a 2nd and 2. They go play action with Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 26. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Here's a handoff to Swift running left. And some strong running down to the 22-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
At the Commanders' 22-yard line.
2nd and 6. Hurts. This is Smith to the ground. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions, 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting, pick a play you think they would run here, and just load up for it and see what happens.
Ron Rivera scowling down on the sideline, and he's thrown out the red challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Winds up a very good call there defensively to challenge that one, as that now will wind up an incomplete pass. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. They're going to look to throw. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a 1st.
Now that's a quarterback who's in charge out there right now. Wants to throw the ball on 3rd down, doesn't find anyone open, tucks it away, takes off, and picks up the 1st down. Not by a little, but by plenty.
Swift going to try up the middle. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Smith. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. They'll send the tight end in motion. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a hole, a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit, and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
Jalen Hurts with another touchdown rushing. 13 touchdowns, led all quarterbacks last year on the ground. No one else had more than 8. And, of course, we all remember the 3-touchdown game in the Super Bowl. So called running plays or scrambles, Jalen Hurts is dangerous.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make our score 14-7.
Commanders 14, Eagles 7.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. 2nd and 11. Play fake, Brissett. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Brissett sets to throw it. A quick throw there is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He'll drop this one off to Swift. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He'll drop to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, We see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Second down, here's Hurts. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. On first down, Hurts. Complete. Smith has it. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goddard, 29 yards. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you get a brand new ball game. Elliott on for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Washington going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here first and 10. Here's Brissett. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. A first down throw for Brissett. Short throw to the tight end Thomas. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now a 2nd and 6. Throwing, Brissett. Open man is the tight end, John Bates. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Again, it's Brissett. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
On for the field goal. A 56-yard attempt.
And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
They'll throw now on the final play. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On third down, here comes Swift. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 44 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Hurts sets up to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's Watkins. And he is across midfield from one 49 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
Brings up second and 8 at the 49-yard line.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's second down and 8. Here's Hurts to throw. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. First possession of the second half now for Washington. On play action, Brissett. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
When you get into the second half of a tie ball game, you start realizing that every play takes on a bigger significance, and this is pretty significant right here. This is where you start putting the pressure on that secondary, and that's a job well done there.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. To throw is Brissett. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that's going to bring up second down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Brissett. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Into the air once more, it's Brissett. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
1st down, Brissett. Short throw there, caught by Thomas. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
9 yards on the play there, and it'll set them up 1st and goal.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I'm trying to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Brissett now. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel from 8 yards out. taken the lead. So this game tied at the half, but we are tied no more. A touchdown there on the opening sequence of this third quarter.
And what a great drive put together by their offensive coordinator. He had a plan, and they executed it almost to perfection, coming right out of the locker room. Now they're feeling good about their chances here in the second half.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead is now 21-14. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And he returns this to the 22. Eagles offense back out getting set for this next drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. This is Smith to the ground. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. Now a give, right side, Swift. He finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Hurts. He'll get this off to Swift.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 30. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
They go play action with Hurts. And that's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he is caught. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying this game here on the fourth. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed. And in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stays.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Elliott now to add the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Play action now. Brissett. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Brissett. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's brought down. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On first and 10, it's Robinson. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Brissett. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jalen Carter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Brissett. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Back to the ground with Robinson. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here's Brissett. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Brissett sets to throw it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And the question, can they turn that interception into points? A tie game for the moment in the 4th quarter. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. From the gun, here's Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
We all have habits. They can be somewhat predictable. You know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Here's Hurts to throw.
He's got Smith here. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
Here's 2nd down and 3.
Now back to throw.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first. And they are knocking on the door of field goal range now.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Here's 1st down.
He'll look to throw. Open man is Goddard, the tight end.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
40-yard line.
Here comes 2nd down and 5. They run out of the gun with Swift. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now. They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th.
Now 2nd and 4. On the handoff, this is Swift.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout.
As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
All 3 timeouts still in their back pocket. Here's 1st and 10. Now they'll fake it there on the jet sweep, and instead, here's Swift.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go away.
Yeah, I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. This to almost certainly win the football game. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
At their own 33-yard line.
This is 1st and 10.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we sign off from Landover.